Hey, welcome back guys, JC here, and the first thing I want to say is I want to keep this review very short because coming up right after this I will have a build video where I show you how to wire this, including the video transmitter and camera, and after that I will show you how to set everything up in Betaflight and then a flight footage video. So I received this flight controller in the mail today and it is very interesting. Banggood must have heard just how much I love the omnibus flight controllers for their built-in OSDs that actually work with the Betaflight OSD feature, as well as many other features. But taking a look at this, and I've actually tried it out, I can tell you that this is basically a mini omnibus flight controller, brushed flight controller. It only works for brushed builds, so these little small 1 and 2S builds. Now this one is rated for 1S, it's not rated for 2S. But what makes me so excited about this particular flight controller? Really, it comes down to 3 separate reasons. Reason number 1, you can actually buy these in 3 different models. They have a FreeSky, FlySky, and Spectrum model, meaning that the receiver is actually built into the flight controller. On a lot of these micro brushed builds, a lot of us have been adding in a really small receiver, from either brand, FreeSky, FlySky, or Spectrum, and they are really small. They don't take up that much space and they are very lightweight, but regardless, they still take up more space and they still add weight, and you want these to weigh the least amount as possible. So it's built in. Reason number 2, the built-in on-screen display. Just like with the receivers, what I've been doing is adding in the minimum OSD micro right on top of my flight controllers, and once again, it's small, it's lightweight, but it still takes up space and it still adds weight. Where that is also built in. Now, having a flight controller, receiver, and on-screen display all built into one unit is great and all, but there was one thing I was worried about, and it's getting power to the video transmitter and camera. They do make video transmitters and cameras both that can operate off of 3.3 volts, but they're rare. They're sometimes hard to get a hold of, and sometimes they cost a little bit more. Just for example, now this flight controller does have a 5-volt power source, but I'm just saying, for those particular times, I've been using this video transmitter. It can be powered off of 3.3 volts up to 2S, I believe. The problem though is, for one, it's really expensive. It costs $50 to $55, and it's also really big and heavy. So ideally, I would like to use something like this, but these can only be powered off of 5 volts, as well as the camera, where this actually has the voltage step up needed to kick a 5-volt source back out to power the camera. Thankfully, and this is why it's reason number 3 that I like this, here are the OSD pins here. You've got a ground 5-volt source, video out, meaning it going to your video transmitter, and then video in coming from your camera. So this does have the circuitry needed to step the voltage up to 5 volts, even with a 1-cell battery, where these, even fully charged, are only 4.2 volts. So this is going to step it up to the 5 volts needed. One 5-volt power source is great. I could manage and deal with that, but what's even better is over here you have your LED pins. So yes, you can run addressable LEDs off this flight controller if you so choose. Personally, I'm not going to, but you've got ground, 5-volt, and then your LED signal pin here. Instead, what I will be doing is powering the camera off of one 5-volt pin and then the video transmitter off of the other 5-volt pin. So, problem solved. We've got a flight controller, receiver, on-screen display, camera, and video transmitter all in one very small package. I'll also add one very cheap package. As far as the other features, you do have dedicated buzzer pins if you so choose to use one, as well as, of course, 4 motor outputs, but one great thing is they actually ordered them in the correct order for Betaflight, meaning you have motor 1, 2, 3, and 4. Where some flight controllers I've used, they're not in the same order, so I would have to stretch my motor wires across the board to get to the correct pins, where with this one, you don't. You just run your motor wires to the closest motor pins. And that's going to do it for this review, guys. So like I said, if you look in the description below, I will have a build video on this where I show you how to wire everything together. then a Betaflight setup video where I show you how to set everything up, and then some flight footage. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.